Welcome to Marshall Knows Stuff. I'm Marshall, and I know stuff. Stick around and I'll show you how to know some of the stuff that I know. Today we have a very slightly special episode of Marshall Knows Stuff. Today with me I have Stevo from Star 88.
I mean, come on.
You look way taller on the radio.
Thank you. I'm not wearing my awesome boots. There you go.
So they were talking about YouTube videos on the radio.
That's right.
And I'm a regular listener, so I decided to text into him and said, "Hey, I know a dude."
Yeah.
So he bit, and then we're going to do a collabo video. He said he wanted to learn how to do some stuff that I do, and I'm going to coach him along with it. They had a competition going on at the radio station. I'm going to help him along with it. So on today's very slightly special episode of Marshall Knows Stuff, we're helping Stevo make a railroad spike knife. Oh, let's do this real quick, actually. So for Stevo's knife, I came up with a design for him that I thought would be pretty easy to do. Railroad spike, again, because railroad spikes lend themselves to knives, and they're easy to work with and they're fun to do, and they're also cool looking after you do them. What I'm going to have him do is I'm going to have him do the twist on the handle and then hammer out the remainder of the steel to make probably like a drop point knife blade, and then also scoop out the head a little bit to give you a nice little finger hold on the back of it. So let's kick on the forge and get to forging. First step is the twist. Stevo is pulling it out of the fire right now, and the tool that I made last night we're going to be utilizing to give the good twist on the railroad spike. Just going to bring it over, put it in the vise. There you go. Don't let it go yet.
I'm a noob.
That'll probably do it. We got a little bit of time. Let's see.
That's why this is called Marshall Knows Stuff and not Stevo Knows Stuff. Because I don't know stuff.
You want to do it? You want to give this a shot?
All right.
So what you're going to do is get it on there towards the very top. Push it all the way to the top. You don't need to really tighten it down too much.
Okay.
Then give it a full twist. So watch where you're going with it. You're going to pull this one around to where it was previous. Keep on. Keep on. There we go. That's, I think, right there. We'll do that's a pretty good twist. It's starting to twist uneven. We want to keep it even, so we're going to keep it there.
Okay.
Looks good. Slide that guy off. Nice! We've already got a handle going. A little bit bent, though.
Yeah.
A little bit twisted.
I noticed that as well, Marshall.
It's alright, it's easy to fix. Super easy to fix. It's easier to fix it, how square it is, right from the start. You won't be backpedaling that way. Looks pretty square to me. How about what do you think?
I think it's awesome. It's going to be perfect.
Sweet. Using a wire brush on hot steel is something blacksmiths do to make what they're doing look important.
Yeah. You get the sparks. It's just, yeah.
Looks very official.
Totally.
All right. Let's get the head back in. It's like I always say, you want to work with the thick part and then move out. We did the handle first because that's going to be the thick spot. Now I want to bend the head out because that's going to be another thick area. Going to do the blade last because we want to wait to do the most delicate part of it last so it doesn't get messed up. Back in the fire.
All right, here we go. I don't even know what I'm doing.
You're all right. Yep, grab it from the end like that. See how it's got the curve on it?
Yeah.
Just get it in there in those grooves, and you can feel that it gets solid on there.
Yeah.
You made those tongs like that on purpose.
Come on, me. There we go. There you go.
Okay. Are you left-handed?
I am right-handed.
There you go. Hold it with your left hand.
Okay.
There's your hammer. Bring it over to the anvil. And
This way or opposite?
well, it doesn't really matter which way you stand, but what you're going to want to do is to keep away from it. You kind of want to like hammer it there so it's going to start spreading it down. You know what I mean?
So right there?
Yeah.
Am I in the way of the...
You got it. Swing.
So
who's boss? Kind of. Give it a rest there. Let's see what's happening. You're kind of hitting it off center, so it's like giving it a little curve down that way. You see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see it real quick. It's curving out a little bit. I don't know if I like what it's doing to the nose, though. We may not beat it up too much more that way. It did give it a little curve out there, if you see.
Yeah.
It's starting to get there. We might, let's just get it hot as Dickens again. And now that we've got that little lip, we might be able to bend it over.
Gosh.
And what we're going to be doing is we're just going to lay it flat on the anvil, and we're going to start taking in those ears on the head in a little bit. And what you're going to want to do is give it a couple of swings.
Okay.
And then roll it over and do the other side.
Okay.
We're going to take those ears in right there. So
Oh,
give,
okay.
give it a couple of taps there. Keep checking it to make sure that it's symmetrical. You need a little bit more on that side.
Yep. Whoops.
You're good. It's looking pretty good, Stevo.
Like, am I losing the grip? I'm like kind of losing the grip.
On the spike itself?
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Give it a little shake, it'll fall into place. I think that's the end of that window. We're going to heat it up again. But it's looking good. I see how we're flattening it out a little bit. And we might actually want to get it a little bit there so it doesn't fold in on itself, so it doesn't give a crease.
Okay.
We'll hammer out those sides a little bit to make it nice and flat, and we'll flush it up with the thickness of the handle, and then we'll be ready to start hammering out the blade.
It's crazy. Was it better to do like a couple big hits, or like the way I just started kind of tinkering on it?
You know, it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish with it.
That's true too.
If you're trying to work through a lot of meat on it, and I'll bring it way up here and swing it down.
Okay.
Just give it as much force as I can
Okay.
get it. But then there's some times where you're just giving it little taps, and I'll even use my little ball peen just to like round some edges, like tap,
Yeah.
tap, 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 tap. Because it gets hot enough, and it's seriously like dough. Like metal just gets like dough. It's real malleable when it gets hot enough.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get it hot enough, it turns into liquid. So
Yeah.
you get it to that right window, and you're going to be able to just barely tap it. It's going to do what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give it a flip, watch your symmetry. And then I'd get going on that side right there.
Right here?
Yeah. It's coming out. Give it a flip.
If I flipped faster.
A little bit on the nose. Point it down. Yeah, dude. And I think that'll take care of our handle and pummel. What do you think?
Yeah, dude, full on.
Stuck out the head a little bit, gave it a twist, and now onto the blade.
Woo!
All right, we're ready to go on this.
So what am I doing? Just banging away?
So that's going to be the end, and that's pointing down, right?
Okay.
So whenever you pick it up, we're going to be holding it right there, and then you need to flatten this side, right? So we're going to hit that, flip it over, hit that, and what you're going to want to do is focus on this side, because since that's down, we want to draw it down, right?
Okay.
So as you're hitting it, kind of pull it away. You're trying to draw it down right there, right? And you keep doing that, and it's going to start taking it down that way. You're going to want to flatten the whole thing, of course.
Yeah.
But emphasis on that
This
side.
side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hitting it. Okay.
Another trick I'll let you in on too.
Yeah.
Whenever I have something like this, I'll pull that off the end so there's no risk of pounding that. You know what I mean? Nice, dude.
Oh.
Pull it off the edge. There you go.
Yeah. Trying. And it's almost not really orange anymore.
Yeah, I think we went a little bit outside the window. Back in the far.
Okay.
Remember to hang it off the edge so you're not messing up your twists.
Boom. Okay. Totally like bending and jacking this thing though.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
And it's actually not going to matter here. I'll show you real quick too.
Oh. Gosh, that's so cool.
Yep. Starting to resemble a knife a little bit, isn't it?
Dude, yes.
Blade's starting to flatten out a little bit. And it's starting to get that curve up with the edge, just like we want. Boom, there you go. Stick it back in the fire.
All right.
Yeah, you're good to go, dude. Pound that guy.
All right.
I got it for you.
Okay. I'm gonna go in this way.
Yep.
All right. Whoops, my bad.
You got it. Give it a break there. Staying pretty symmetrical too, not doing too bad.
Okay.
I'm gonna work the knife a little bit while Stevo is gone.
Dude, that dog is so awesome.
He's a sweetheart. Oh yeah, you ready to go?
God, that's so legit. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Take it a little bit easy now because we've got it.
Okay.
We've got it coming together. We don't need to. Hold that. Give it a little bit right there. I can see a little
Right
bulge
here?
right there. Yep. No, where I pointed.
Right here.
No, Stevo, not there. Every video. Now that we're done hammering, we've got our blade, the shape, thickness, and we're all square on it. It's quenching time. Now it's the fun part, where we get to see huge flames.
Yes.
So, gonna get it back in the forge, get it to critical temp, and then quench. We are there now. Yep. What you want to do also, so that you don't set your hand on fire, is grab it from the side, because once you dip it in, flames will come up.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yep, hit it. Swish it around. I know all my viewers already know, but I showed Steve the magnet trick, holding the magnet against the steel that's at critical temperature to make sure that it is at a critical temperature. If you don't know or haven't watched any other videos, magnets will not stick to iron that is at critical temperature. That's how you can tell. Good to go. Go ahead and pull that guy out. There we go.
Wow.
Now we've got a quenched blade.
Amazing.
Now we get to polish it. Done.
I was like, what?
Dang it! Do over.
Take two.
Dang. We've got the basics of a railroad spike knife. We've got our twist in our handle, and we've got our blade. It's looking pretty good. Let's get a close-up on that. Stevo did a pretty good job.
I mean, I learned from the man who knows stuff.
I think he did have somebody telling him that did know some stuff. But that's a cool piece. I'm already super stoked on this. Now is going to be all the polishing. We're going to get it on the belt sander. Start flattening out our edges. We're going to get it on the jig and give it the bevel. And then I think that we will... That would probably be about it. After that, I think we'll be good to polish it with the wire wheel. And then we'll have a total knife.
Do you want to tell me again? Because I actually don't really know what I'm doing. So
I'm going to pretend I didn't tell you any of that stuff right now.
Okay.
Or that I want to make sure that you super have it.
That I really know.
So we want to round over this edge right here. And we also want to flatten the back. We have a lot of meat on the back, but what I'm going to have Stevo do first is round off the edge.
Okay.
Because that's going to be enough meat to where we can still flatten the back, and it'll be a nice flat spine on it. So go ahead and start rolling that and get yourself a nice point going.
Yeah?
Yep. I think it's exactly where it needs to be, but
how idiot-proof is this?
I made it as idiot-proof as possible. I don't want you to mess it up on this stage.
Yeah, you're putting this into my hands, and yeah.
And you're gonna see it eat away. Like take note of how much you want to take away too. What I think we're gonna end up doing is probably by the time you bevel it to about right there,
Okay.
the whole thing should be straight.
Okay.
But let's see how it goes.
All right.
All right, Stevo killed it on this. He got the plane going on either side. Looks like a knife, doesn't it? So we have the flat plane on either side of this knife. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to, remember how the jig that I made has the adjustable bolt in it? We're gonna bevel it, or we're gonna increase the angle of the jig a little bit more so we can get a bevel on either side of those planes. I'm gonna switch from my 120 belt to the 1000 grit belt, which is gonna be super smooth blade. This is like the equivalent of drinking beer in the shower to knife people. Okay, I've got my 1000 grit on there, and like I said, we're just gonna change the angle on the jig. On this one, since the round handle sits in there kind of at whatever angle it wants to, what I did is I just took the bolt all the way out and left it flat. It ended up being the right angle to get that plane going all the way down the edge of that blade. As you could probably have told by the time lapse, it was actually Stevo that did most of the work. I just gave him a little bit of instruction. So now I'm going to be putting the bolt back in to give it a little bit more of an angle. Having that bolt on it is going to tip it up a little bit. It's going to give it that bevel. We're going to bevel it with a real fine grit so that it gives it a nice clean edge. Ready to do the heavy lifting again, Stevo?
Can do.
While it's already locked down on this side, I'm just going to increase the bevel angle on this side that we left off on. And then that way we're not switching it back and forth. If it was a square piece of steel, it would be a lot easier to take it out of the jig and put it back in and have it be the exact angle every time. But since we don't have that luxury, since it's a round handle, the less we move it in and out of the jig, the more consistent the edge will be. You'll notice that 180 grit leaves quite a bit of jagged edges, but none of that's really going to matter because once we go over that with the 1000 grit sanding belt, it's going to clean all that out.
Also crazy how when I accidentally touch the handle, it's hot down here.
Yep.
Heats the whole thing up.
Yeah, that's called the burr whenever it pushes it over like that. It's a little piece of metal that sticks at the top whenever you're sharpening it.
Yeah.
And it'll bend one way or the other. And that's what stropping does with, like, say, straight razors.
Okay.
You run the straight razor over that leather strop, and it lays your burr straight, so then that's where you get a really sharp edge from. So we got the edge finished up. We did the blade, nice and shiny. Then we got the bevel for the edge too, and it's looking pretty good. I'm not done with the edge yet. We still will strop it and make sure that it's nice and clean. But what I want to do right now is clean up this handle. It's gritty and dirty from the forge still. So we're going to take the wire brush to it. Again, I'm going to have Stevo do the heavy lifting on it.
Can do.
Go ahead and run that. They're facing this way, so I'm going to run it backwards. It's going to be just a matter of running over this guy.
Okay.
And it's going to polish it up.
Okay.
I would also get gloves on for this.
All right.
Last thing we're going to do, take it out, and because we have that burr sticking up there, I drop my strop on the rough side of the strop real quick. There is a little bit left. Not too bad though. Let's see if we can pull a little bit more. That's an edge that I would stay away from still. Let's see. I do have some hair on my hand because I haven't done a knife in a while. Let's do the Marshall test. Ready?
All right.
There it goes. Can see the hair falling off. Sharp, sharp blade.
Wow. Dude.
Stevo, you did it.
I did. I mean, you did it, but...
I watched you do it. I watched it with my own ojos.
This is amazing. All right.
Nice.
I'm going to go get on my motorcycle and get into a knife fight. I don't even own a motorcycle, so...
I think that's next.
Okay, cool.
Let's
all right.
forge a motorcycle. Yeah.
All right. I mean, you know stuff, right?
I do.
Okay.
Forging motorcycles is one of those things.
Okay, cool. All right.
It's in my cache.
Yes.
You're welcome.
This is crazy.
There you have it. Start to finish, beginner style Stevo did it. We made another knife, another railroad spike for the collection, and you guys know the drill. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, share, and let's keep knowing some stuff. Yeah. You owe me, Stevo.
I do.
A crisp, uncirculated 5 of highs.
Oh, done!